Okay. All right then. Excuse me. Wow. All right. Well, now wait. Wait. I suppose it's only right that I get Spider-Man out here. Spider-Man! 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 Who else should I have on standby? Good question. Maybe Micah Myers. Get out to Micah Myers. Let's get out to Micah Myers. Gotta move some stuff over. Get to Micah Myers. Got some McFarlane. Gonna have McFarlane. I still think probably known for that. Let's be honest here. Let us be honest here. Take the festivities. Moving downstairs. I left downstairs. In the room below which I am located. And live. My first time ever being live, for the record. Never been live before. Day in my life has never happened. Hello! Hello and welcome. Happy New Year. So, yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't have much of a plan here. I just had this idea of, you know what? It's the new year. And, you know, the whole like new year, new me, you know, whatever that's called. Why not try something? I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of ready for whatever. I mean, we can talk about, you know, we can talk about stuff. We can do like a Q&A thing. I don't know. I just had an idea of let's do a live stream, you know, whatever it might be. So yeah. Let's see here. I'm knocking stuff over. Let's not knock stuff over, eh? I think that sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a very good idea. All right. Should I? I got an idea. Yes, hello, Happy New Year. Good to see you joining in. This is a fun fact. This is my first time ever doing a live stream. I've never done it before on any platform, not any platform at all. So I actually had to figure out how to set this up, and I don't know. Just kind of making this up as I go along. I just had an idea of, you know, it's the new year, let's do something. I don't know. So, yeah. Live stream sounds complicated. I mean, it's interesting that you bring that up because I did have a plan. When was that? It was like a couple weeks ago or something like that when I saw the FNAF 2 movie, and I had an idea. I had like so many things I wanted to say about that where I was like, I want to do a live stream right now and just talk about the movie. And so I set it up and I was like, all right, let's do this. And then YouTube gave me this thing of like, you have to wait 24 hours in order to do that. And I was like, wait, 24 hours? Why do I have to do that? I guess it had to do like some verification thing. And well, it did that. And that's why I'm able to do this today. So I guess if you want to do a live stream, whatever day you have planned to do that, you have to send, I don't know, like send a request about it. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, I guess you just have to, because like there's an option of like, go live, and I did that and it was like, okay, you gotta wait 24 hours. So I didn't have to do that today. I guess the verification thing was complete, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. But yeah, how are you doing? I guess so. Yeah. So I guess I'm able to do that. It's just now I have to decide what I'm going to do. I do have plans though to do a live stream in February because there's a movie that's coming out in February. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So I have plans of like, when I see that, I'm going to do a live stream like, let's talk about this movie. But yeah, how are you doing today? Yeah, yep. I can definitely relate to that. um, it's kind of tough because I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my channel. But yeah, I'm sure we can figure something out. I mean, I know that I don't know if you'd be interested in it or not, but like we all know the news now. I mean, the cat's kind of out of the bag about McFarlane losing the DC license this year, and then Mattel taking over. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that, to be honest. Um, so yeah, I mean, like there's the idea. Like I know there are people that are in like the McFarlane camp of like, I can't believe the McFarlane is losing the license. And then you have people in the Mattel camp that are like, finally we get the license back and we're going to do something right with it, because there are a lot of people that don't like the McFarlane line, and there are a lot of people that do. So the way I see it is, I think we should just see what happens, because Mattel could like knock it out of the park, or it could be like the worst thing ever. I just know that whatever they do, it should be a step up from the figures that they used to make. This is actually the only Mattel DC Multiverse figure that I have, and it's fine for what it is. This came out in like 2016 or whatever, and like it looks fine, but they got to be able to do something better than this, especially if they're going to compete with what McFarlane has been putting out with things like this. So I don't know what's going to happen. I guess we'll just have dropping stuff. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Because as of right now, I have no idea. It could be good. It could be bad. I have no idea. What do you think about that, though? Do you think that Mattel will be making good products, or not so much? Because I have heard, I don't collect it because I don't know anything about it, but I heard that like their newer like wrestling figures, I heard that those are like really good. So yeah, I don't know if they're good or not. I just heard that they are. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. I don't know though. I can't look into the future. I don't have a time machine. Although if I did have a time machine, that would be something that I would do. I'd go into the future and be like, "Hey, let's see what happens here." Yeah, yep. That's what I'm thinking is that Mattel, they seem to have like some articulation that's like really good, and then some that's like not so good. So I guess it'll have to be, I don't know, like some kind of a thing of like, like I said, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Like, maybe they've like secretly been planning this the whole time of here's what we're going to do to make these, really good. Because I will say, like the Mattel figures, the Mattel DC figures that came out like right before Todd McFarlane took over the license, they were not good like at all. And so if they go back to that, then I feel like the people, even the people that didn't like McFarlane, will be like, "Come back! We want Todd to come back. These figures were better." But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let's just hope that that it has something with like basically kind of what McFarlane has been making, where they can't do both. I mean, I would think that would work. I just don't think it's going to happen. Um, because with Marvel Legends, Marvel Select, yeah, that would have been an apt comparison. I don't know if you heard the news or not, but Marvel Select isn't a thing anymore. They kind of went out of business, which that's really too bad because Marvel Select. I mean, I know I have this guy. It's kind of like a bad example because this is an old figure, but you compare that to where is it? Where is it? You compare it to like the Captain America. Like this figure is just incredible, and yeah, it's Marvel Select isn't really a thing anymore. Um, I did hear, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard a rumor that yeah, I know. I actually had the Deadpool pre-ordered, the one based off of the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. I'm just such a big Ryan Reynolds Deadpool fan that when I found out that that was announced, I was like, okay, I have to get that. And then the news came out that they went out of business. So yeah. But like another thing with like the McFarlane and Mattel is that you know, yep, yep, those ones as well. Yep. Yeah, they had a lot planned, and I guess it didn't end up happening. But yeah, so yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so with like the DC stuff, what they're doing now, I was actually at Walmart the other day. I don't often go to Walmart, but someone in my family gave me a Walmart gift card for Christmas. So I was like, well, I might as well go in and use that. And while I was there, I checked out the toy section and I noticed that Spin Master actually had some interesting stuff there. Like it's not like like their 4-inch super accessory, figures. It's not like the stuff that they used to make. They're making like 6-inch figures that are it's kind of like it's kind of like the DC stuff, that like McFarlane's making now, but like it's smaller and it's more geared toward kids and it has a ton of accessories. So like it's more of a toy. And so I feel like the people that are interested in like DC toys, like Spin Master is going to be doing that. So I just don't see it like obviously, McFarlane has the license for a little while because it's supposed to be July when Mattel takes over. But I did hear a thing. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard a thing that it could be a thing where Todd doesn't fully lose the DC license. He's just not allowed to make action figures anymore. Kind of like what he does with Marvel, because he technically does have the Marvel license, but he isn't allowed to make action figures, but he can make statues. So there's an idea going around that maybe it'll be something like that, where like Mattel will be making like action figures and more stuff like that, and then McFarlane will be doing statues and resin, PVC, big ones, small ones, basically the statue stuff that he does now. He'll probably be continuing that, and honestly, I see that happening because that was the big thing that really put McFarlane on the map in the 2000s was his collectible stuff, and like the sports stuff, and all of that. And then when his figures became less toys and more about collectibles and statues and not the stuff that he started with, stuff like this, which is just fun. Um, so yeah, but again, I don't know. It could go good. It could go bad. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. Um, yeah, I guess we'll find out. Yeah, it might be like that. It might be like that. Or like I don't know the whole like legal stuff like with Warner Brothers. And because they were the ones that told, Todd, it's like you can't have guns with your figures. So like I don't know if the people at Warner Brothers are going to look at it and be like, "Okay, there's already a company making toys, therefore you can't make toys anymore." Like I feel like it would be fine and I wouldn't see a problem with it, but I feel like, like the people working for, Warner Brothers or Netflix or, whatever, like the people that are in charge of, seeing who makes DC stuff, like DC products, I don't know if they're going to have a problem with that and be like, "Hey, Mattel's already making toys, therefore McFarlane, we are done here. You are done. You can't do stuff with us anymore." So, I don't know. I think that would be kind of dumb, but at the same time, I don't see it as an impossibility. So, I don't know. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, yeah, I could see that. Um, yeah, I like I said, I don't know though. I mean, if I did know, I would tell you. I'd be like, this is exactly what's going to happen, but I can't do that. So, if only I could though. Could could probably like make a lot of money. But then again, I've seen Back to the Future too, so I really don't want the world to turn to this dystopian wasteland. No, actually, yeah. Well, I have a theory. I have a theory where basically the alternate reality from Back to the Future 2 is the same reality from Watchmen. um, so yeah. For what that's worth, if you want me to talk about that, I can. Otherwise, we can move on. I don't know what to talk about though, to be honest. Like I said, I didn't have a plan here. I was like, let's just go live because why not? Yep. Yeah, that was one of the things that they had there at the Walmart was that. It was that, and then they have another line called Ninja Strike. And I don't, it seems like it's like it reminds me of the Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures from 2012. Um, it kind of reminded me of that, but they're doing it with like this like ninja style Batman thing. It's not like the Ninja Batman anime, it's like its own thing. So yeah, I mean Spin Master is making fun stuff, but then again, I kind of already knew that Spin Master would be doing something like that. um So yeah, I just kind of wish that they went back and did more of the stuff that they did when they first did the line, where like they do like characters and they just load them up with accessories and you just have like a 4-inch scale fun play thing. It's like that was cool. They're not really doing that anymore. Like I don't know if they are still doing the 4-inch scale or not, because I know when the Superman movie came out, they had 6-inch figures and then they had 3-inch figures. So I don't know what happened to the 4-inch figures, but those are the ones that I collect. I mean, the predominant Spin Master thing. I do have one figure that's 5-inch scale, which I didn't even know it was 5-inch scale until I got it out of the box, and that's Penguin, based off of the Penguin. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering what did I spend my Walmart gift card on, well, one of the things that I did was I actually bought the. I didn't even know this was a thing, but I bought the DVD box set of the Penguin TV show, like all the episodes, and I've been watching that, and it's really good. I like that. um, but yeah, I digress. Why won't this stay on his foot? I got this guy off my shelf, and now his stand won't stay on his foot. I don't know what's going on with that. Get on the foot. No. Yeah, I didn't know that either. Like I was under the impression that they just didn't bother with that, but I went to Walmart and it was there, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this. Because I'd actually never seen a full episode before, but I'd like seen like several clips of it, and I've also seen reviews of people talking about it. And I was like, I want to check this out, and so I did. And yeah, it's pretty good, pretty good. Now the only question is, when are we going to get a sequel to the Batman? Because my goodness, it has been way too long. Okay, I even remember Robert Pattinson saying something like, in the first movie, I was a young Batman. I don't want to be an old Batman in the sequel, Sequel, yes, yes, it is. I heard the rumor, or not really a rumor, because it was meant to be like a confirmed thing of what's his face, the guy that plays Moff Gideon in The Mandalorian. I heard the news that he was like signed on to be Mr. Freeze, and I was like, okay, cool. We got something. We got an idea here. We're gonna have Mr. Freeze in the movie. Even have somebody cast for it. When are we gonna get the movie? But yeah, I don't know though. I want to see it. I don't know about like other people, because I know there were some people that didn't like that movie. They're like, it's not enough of a Batman movie, but But then again, I'm not really the one to talk about Batman movies because um I did make a video. It was a while ago, but I did make a video of ranking the live action Batman movies, and yeah, y'all want to know what I think of the Batman movies? Y'all can check that out. But I know full well that some of my opinions are controversial, but I will. I mean, like I can't really change it. My biggest hot take, like probably maybe like of all time, is about the Dark Knight. But it's because of my first experience with it. I have to be honest. I can't look past my first experience with that movie. uh, Honestly though, that's a story that like I never get sick of telling. uh, but where is my? Okay, I got one. Got one Batman. Got one Batman. Personally, okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. That movie is definitely not for everyone, and I did hear stories about. Yep, that's what I heard stories about. I heard stories about like Penguin is way too scary. He gave me nightmares and all of that. I don't know. I wasn't like super young when I saw those movies. Fun fact: out of the four Batman live action movies that came out in the 80s and 90s. So Batman 89, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman Robin. Batman Returns was actually the one that I saw first. And I saw that one first, and I was like, this is kind of interesting. This is kind of out there. And then I don't remember which one I saw second. I think it might have been Batman and Robin. And oh no, I said Batman and Robin, yes. And I know I'm in like a super minority here, but I actually think that Batman and Robin is like a legitimate Batman movie. Like I know a lot of people have the opinion of like, that's one of those so bad it's good things, or people just plain and simple don't like it. They're like, this is not my kind of movie. And that's fair enough, but for me, I actually like it as a serious, well, not serious because it's like super campy and over the top, but like I actually like it as a Batman movie. In terms of movies that are like so bad it's good, I think of movies like Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. That movie is a complete train wreck, but I have such a blast with it, um, yeah. Yeah, with with the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, I get that that's the popular pick. No, I actually have not seen it. And it's not that I don't want to see it. It's this happens to me a lot actually, where there are times when a movie will come out and I'll want to see it, and I just don't have the opportunity to see it. Um, it's a thing of like, when it came out in theaters, I was like, okay, I'm going to see it in theaters, and I just never had the chance to see it. And then, like when it, was released to, streaming services and all of that, I have not seen it on physical media. So I don't know if there's like a DVD or a Blu-ray version of it. I haven't seen one. But yeah, when it came out to streaming, I don't have any streaming services. I don't have Netflix or, any of that. So I basically can't watch it. So I want to see it. I really do. I've heard some good things about it. And yeah, I just haven't had the opportunity to see it. Is it any good though? Like what did you think of it? Was it good? Was it not so good? I don't know. I just know that I want to see it and I haven't. Where's my Superman? Superman! There he is. I got my Superman. Spin Master Superman. Okay. That's all right though. That's all right. I mean, that can be a problem with a lot of movies. Well, not so much now, but like some like older movies, like especially the action movies that like like action movies that were like under 2 hours long. Kind of feels like it's just da, 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 and we're done. So yeah. Um, but yeah, I am like cautiously optimistic about James Gunn's new direction. I mean, I did hear the thing about he wants to make a Clayface horror movie, which to me that's like, yeah, that would be the kind of thing that I want to see. So yeah, and like I've heard some like mixed things about the Supergirl thing that's coming out, but I mean, let's face it here. Like, I'm interested in the Supergirl thing mainly because of it's going to have Jason Momoa, if I can pronounce his name. The guy that played Aquaman. He's going to be Lobo, and to me, it's like, why wasn't he cast as Lobo in the first place? Because that's like the ideal thing. Like, he would be just a he'd be a phenomenal Lobo. So I'm interested to see what they do with that. But yeah, I don't know though. I don't know a lot of things. But that's okay. That's okay. Yes. Clayface. Really what I'm doing is I'm just kind of playing with my toys right now. I got my box of Spin Master stuff, like over here, and I'm just like to talk about. Yes, I did. I had an idea of like, oh my goodness, I just saw the movie and I want to talk about it. And then that didn't end up happening because I wasn't allowed to do it, I guess. But yeah, that was something else. That's something else. Now, I will say this without going into spoiler territory. I will say of like I understand the criticism, okay? Because I heard the criticism, all right, of people saying that like, it's not a good movie, it's a bad horror movie, like whatever. But I was like, I don't care. I want to see it. I want to see what they do with it. And I saw the movie, and when it was done, I was like, I really like that. I personally liked it more than the first movie. And that's saying something because I did really like the first movie. But yeah, with the second one, when it was done, I was like, I really like that, but I understand why some people didn't like it. It did have some issues. But there are some things that I will argue people on. Like, you can complain all you want about some things, but there are some things that it's like you can't complain about this. I will not let you. And yeah, like the opening, I'm not going to say too much unless you want me to say something. But yeah, like if y'all want me to talk spoilers, I can talk spoilers. But I will say this, that the opening is phenomenal. Like the opening like 5 minutes or so, it's like that's exactly like that's better than what I would have pictured. And then the scenes with I got the picture out here. The scenes with the withered animatronics. The wizards are so cool in that movie. And like it's a thing of like they looked good, like they did. They looked straight out of the game, but it's mainly the sound design. Like my goodness, the sound design, like they actually sound like they're super old, broken down animatronics that haven't been used in like forever, and they're finally like booting up and being used for the first time ever. Like the sound effects tied to the wizards are so cool. And that was like a big thing. And like the theater that I was at, it had some like pretty decent sound to it too. Like the speakers were pretty good. So yeah, that really just you felt it. It was like you were there in the pizzeria. But yeah, it was cool. But yeah, I can talk spoilers if y'all want me to talk spoilers. If y'all don't want me to talk spoilers and just kind of keep it spoiler free, I could talk about the movie spoiler free as well. So yeah, I'm cool with whatever. But yeah, I'm definitely okay with talking about the movie because I had that planned and it didn't. I know. That was one of the cool parts about that because they have been trying to make a Five Nights at Freddy's movie since 2018. All right, 2018. That's a long time. And there were some ideas of like, let's do this and make it Five Nights at Freddy's. And Scott Cawthon, he was like, I don't like that. And I do know that one of them, I haven't seen it, but there's a movie called the Banana Splits movie, and it was a movie that was supposed to be Five Nights at Freddy's, but Scott was like, this is just terrible. And then the movie studio was like, let's just make it anyway, and we'll just do our own thing with it. And it was meant to be a similar premise of like these animatronic mascots at a pizza place that are haunted and come after you. But you can very clearly tell in that movie. I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen parts of it. And you can clearly tell that these animatronics, they are clearly just people in suits that are moving around. Okay. And they're trying to look robotic, but it's very clearly people in the suits. With the Five Nights at Freddy's movies, like the ones that we actually got, no, those are real robots and puppets and all of that, and they like sparingly used like people in costumes. They did do that for a little bit, but like they made sure that the emphasis was on no, these things are robots, and that was cool. I like that. One of the things that is really cool about that movie. It's very good, very good, very good. Hmm. Can I reach those? I think I might be able to reach those. Let me just give me the plush. Give me the plush. There we go. I got the Freddy Fazbear on my shelf. Freddy Fazbear. He's so soft. Oh my goodness, he's so soft. I actually have not been able to find the rest of these though. Like I still got Puppet, Freddy, and Foxy, but I don't know what happened to the other ones because when I first went to Meyer, they had those, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get one at a time because I don't like spending a ton of money in one shot. I like to break it up. But yeah, like I went there and I was like, I'm gonna get Chica and Bonnie at some point, and by the time I went over there again, Chica and Bonnie were not there. They didn't have any Mordos. And so I was like, no, it's fine though. I'm sure I'll find them at some point. But yeah, I do like these. These are so soft and so fun. And they're big too. Like they got some size to them. But then again, y'all want to know about the Jazzwares plushes, y'all can check out my videos. Not that like my videos are the best thing ever, but y'all want to know more about them, you can. I got videos. I got lots of videos. I actually do have a lot of videos. I'm like nearing the 300 mark or something like that. It's kind of a lot. Kind of a lot. But then again, it's, some of those, like shorts are included with that. And, when I like draw pictures and stuff, those count as videos too. And I like drawing pictures. Drawing pictures is fun for me. But yeah. But yeah. I mean, it's really like your call. What do you want to talk about? Because I'm cool with talking about a lot of things. Did you get the? Yes, I did. I did get a book published. You can find it on Amazon. It is called A Hero's First Dream. And I can't, like, I can kind of look at it, but I can't fully see, like, how many copies have been sold. I know that there have been, like, a few copies that have been sold. I don't know the exact number. So, yeah, if y'all want to check it out, you can. I've been working on that book for, like, 3 years or something like that. I had this idea of like, let's just write a story and just see where it goes from there. And it went through several revisions, multiple drafts, and it eventually got to the point where it's like, you know what? I think this is good. Let's just send it out there and see what happens. So yeah. So yeah, y'all can check it out if you want. You don't have to check it out. Yeah, I do remember that when I posted a short talking about that, I got a comment basically like, you use Comic Sans font, what are you doing? And I was like, look, man, you don't have to buy the book if you don't want it. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what people have thought about it. I know what some people have thought about it because they've told me directly of like, here's what I thought. But yeah, in terms of those were people like close to me, people that I know like personally really well. So in terms of like an outsider like reading it, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I mean I could talk about that. I could talk about that. I mean, yeah, essentially it actually how it started. How that idea started for a book. It actually, this is gonna sound kind of weird, but it actually started as me. I'm a big Terraria fan. I don't know if you're familiar with Terraria or not, but it's a game. It's a lot of people call it 2D Minecraft, but it's really a lot more involved with that. It's basically Minecraft, but with a lot more focus on combat than building. That's essentially what it is. So I've basically always been a big Terraria fan, and I had this idea of what if there was a story that was kind of like Terraria but gave it more of a narrative? And then I had this idea of, well, if that were the case, then it would be something like this, and then this might happen, and then there'd be characters like this, and then this is what they would do. And then I was like, you know what? The more I'm thinking about, the more that I'm thinking of like, maybe I might be able to write something like that. Because the more I was thinking about it, the more I was kind of talking myself into it of, what if there was a narrative like that? And well, then I was like, well, let's just make something up and kind of go with it. So that's what happened. Like I said, it took me like 3 years to get that book done, but it is done. I am working on a sequel, by the way. If any of y'all are interested of like, is there going to be a part 2? Yes, there is going to be a part 2. Because yeah, I'm not going to say too much about it, but basically like the way that the first book ends, it kind of suggests of like there's more to the story than just this. Because I had something in mind of like, let's just keep going with this. So I am working on a sequel. Is it done yet? No, definitely not. I'm like, I don't even know how far I want to go with it. But yeah, so there will be one coming probably. I don't know. But I'm working on one. Right now it's just a text document on my computer. My super old computer. Like The computer that I use, it's like really old. Like it's like over a decade old, but it still works. It still works. It still serves its purpose. But then again, really, the only thing I do with it is, is using a text, document website. I don't know if you're familiar with LibreOffice or not, but that's what I use. I know some people use like Microsoft Word or Google Docs or that kind of thing. I use LibreOffice, and so it's basically just like it's kind of like Microsoft Word or Google Docs, but yeah. So I just use that, and just like that's really the only thing I do with my computer is I just use that. So it works for that. um, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun doing that. It was also a little bit difficult because it was a thing of like, how do I do this? I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to do. And yeah, writer's block is definitely a very real thing. And it's like, what do I do? But I had some good support. I did. I had a lot of good support and feedback along the way. And yeah, I kind of took all that into consideration, and then it became a thing, became a whole thing. It's just like whatever, but yeah. So yeah, yeah, I can talk about that. I can talk about I don't know. Y'all want to talk about movies? We can talk about movies. Y'all want to talk about action figures? We can talk about action figures. Y'all want to talk about drawings? We can talk about drawings. If I can talk, that would be cool. Yeah, yeah, y'all can do the talking, or actually, it would be like the typing, and then you send a message. I don't know. I don't know. I've participated in a couple of live streams like once or twice, but I've never actually done one before. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I guess just like yeah. Yeah, I can't really speak on behalf of like Spawn in particular, but there is the news about the Image founders or whatever that line is going to be called of them making like figures of characters from all the Image founders except for Will Spartasio. I don't know why he's not included. They could have easily done a character from Wetworks, but they didn't. Like, come on, man, you're saying that like you can't have like a modern 7-inch figure version of Mother 1. Like that would be really cool. Like this figure is cool and all, but like if they did like a modern version of it, I think that would be even cooler. But yeah, but they got, Rob Liefeld, they got Eric Larson, they got Jim Valentino, uh Mark Silvestri, and Jim Lee, and yeah, of course, Todd McFarlane. He's doing the Spawn, and that figure's interesting. I definitely have some opinions on that Spawn figure that apparently is already out, because I'm part of a Facebook action figure I'm part of multiple like collecting groups. One of them is about like McFarlane and Spawn and all of that. And I've seen some pictures of people posting of like, I pre-ordered the brand new Spawn figure and I just got it today. And so I guess it's already out. I feel like that was really fast, but I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely have some opinions on that figure. And in terms of like them like continuing the line and doing more image stuff, I would say it looks cool. It's costly. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it is. It is kind of costly. Of like that figure's what, like $60 or something like that. Um, I don't know about the $60 thing. It's like that. I don't know. But yeah, but I feel like with McFarlane, especially like with him potentially losing the DC license, I feel like it's a thing of like that would be the time to do more um what's it called, more Image stuff, because he's one of the original founders of Image Comics, and like there's a ton of Image stuff. um like come on, man, when I think of Image, like today, like modern stuff, bro, you got The Walking Dead, you got Invincible, you got like a ton of other stuff too. So like you got options if you want to adapt, like, or not really adapt, but like if you want to take, like Image characters and like turn them into collectibles, why not start with McFarlane? Okay, I know that Rob Liefeld he did something with Loose Collector, and they're making, or I guess they're already out, but they made a Shaft and a Die Hard based off of Youngblood. So yeah, but I feel like McFarlane is kind of the easy answer. I mean, if I were a comic creator at Image, and I wanted some like action figure representation, I'd be like, dude, let's talk to Todd about that. Let's have Mr. McFarlane cover that. That's what I would want anyway. Because I do like the McFarlane stuff. Like, come on, man, this stuff is the main reason why I'm a collector in the first place. Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about that. But you're right. You are right about that. I did see that. I just forgot about that. Um, so yeah, and I do know that like Todd already has like a Walking Dead line, but it's like 5-inch scale, and like it's kind of weird, but like I feel like they could actually do like a 7-inch, like basically what they do with the DC stuff now. I feel like they could do that. Now, this is coming from somebody who knows next to nothing about The Walking Dead. Um, but yeah, I know that it's popular. I know that it's popular, but yeah, I feel like that's a possibility. But like, Image, it just has so much stuff going on. Like there are so many different properties there. And like I get the like Invincible, Walking Dead, Spawn, like those are the big, obvious answers for what's popular, but you can get stuff like Youngblood or, Wildcats. Well, I guess Wildcats, that's not Image anymore. DC took over that. But you got options like Savage Dragon. I know that they're making a Savage Dragon figure, but like there's other Savage Dragon stuff you could do. Because that comic series is still going on, and shout outs to Eric Larson for being able to write and illustrate every issue of Savage Dragon. Like he's still doing that to this day. Like Todd, like he gave up like some of the reins to the Spawn comic line like pretty early on. Okay, like the 8th issue, number 8, that wasn't written by Todd McFarlane. That was written by Alan Moore. So yeah, like Eric Larson, he's still doing that to this day, and that's cool. Not the biggest Savage Dragon fan, but I can appreciate that. Like he's still going with that. That's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, you got stuff like Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk, I think, is just really fun. Um, just of how edgy he is. Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen some of those too. Um, yeah. I'm not the biggest Scooby Doo fan. I kind of used to be. One of I remember this that I grew up on a DVD of, I don't even remember, it was like Scooby Doo versus the Loch Ness Monster or something like that. Like I had the DVD for that, and I watched that many times growing up, and I thought it was cool. And that movie was actually my introduction to Scooby Doo as well as the Loch Ness Monster. I'd never heard of either of those prior to that movie, and I was like, "What are these? These are interesting." So yeah. Yeah, I will say though that Jada, they're making some really good good products. I like Jada. I personally, well, technically I do have something in my collection that is from Jada, but it's not the kind of stuff that they're making now. Um, what I do have in my collection that's from Jada is this Harley Quinn die-cast car, which at some point I have to make a revised video talking about my Harley Quinn collection because well, there was one thing in the collection that I had in my collection at the time that I completely forgot about, so it's not in the original video. And then I've since added a couple other things to it, so it's like I feel like I have to revise that list, but I don't know. But yeah, this is a Jada thing, and this is the kind of stuff that they used to make. And then they got into the action figure line, and then they really went for that with the Street Fighter line, and I think it's really cool. I'm not the biggest Street Fighter fan, but I definitely can recognize a lot of the characters, and and I can definitely acknowledge a good action figure when I see one. So yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. At least I think so. I like it. Ah, I can stuff over again. I know. Like they did one. But it was like really it was like one of the first ones that they made, and it like I don't even think it looks that good. I'm going to be honest, because it was meant to be a comic book Harley Quinn, but it looked like it was trying too hard to emulate the original yeah, yeah. They were trying like too hard to emulate the animated series style, but it was meant to be like a comic book version, and it just doesn't look like one. But yeah, I mean, I do have some of the other Harley Quinn figures that they made. I do have this one, which fun fact, this Harley Quinn based off of the Suicide Squad, James Gunn. This was it wasn't the first McFarlane figure that I got, but this was the first DC McFarlane figure that I got. So yeah, at some point I'm going to be doing a video on that. But yeah, so this was the first DC McFarlane figure that I got. And then, not too long after that, I don't remember when it was, but at some point for my. Yep. Yeah, they tried that out with Batman and Green Lantern, and Superman too. They did Batman, Superman, and Green Lantern, and their very first attempt of the animated series design, it did not work. Like I didn't get any of those. I don't even think I've seen any of those in person before, but I heard the stories that like the legs are just so small that they can barely stand and like they fall over so easily. So like you have these ginormous, upper bodies and then like these super tiny like stick figure legs and they just constantly fall over. But yeah. And then in terms of other Harley Quinn stuff, I do have this McFarlane figure as well. Um, but yeah, yeah, I know. I heard about that, and yeah, that was something else that was definitely interesting. Um, I'm going to be honest here. I'm not a fan of the design of it. Can I acknowledge that it's good? Like, does it look good? Yeah, it does. But I just don't like the whole Mezco approach that they kind of went with, that of having it be like, like real like fishnet stockings on like real like leather what do you call it? I don't know female clothing all that well, but basically, like this thing like right here. Like that's actually like a real material that's not like plastic. So I don't like the way it looks when it's an actual like piece of like cloth or clothing. um and they did that with the Harley Quinn figure, and some of those tiers, like there were like four tiers to that. Some of them I thought, I was just wondering like, why is that included? Like, why are the stickers, like what's with the stickers that were included, and like the temporary tattoos or whatever those were? Like I don't get it. That seems like more of a kids thing, but I don't know. Kind of related to that movie, the 2016 Suicide Squad. When are we going to get the David Ayer cut of that movie? The movie will be 10 years old this year. Can you believe it? It's been 10 years since that movie came out, man. But I remember when James Gunn, when he took over the DC stuff, like the DC movies and whatever, like he did say something along the lines of, like we might end up seeing the David Ayer cut of his Suicide Squad movie. And but I say yes, please. I say please and thank you, because I feel like that one would actually be really good. Because the movie that we got, it was really bad, but that's because David Ayer had like a particular vision in mind of, I want to do this, and then the studio was like, that's not going to work. We're going to force you to go in this direction instead. And well, it didn't really work. You tried to please everybody, and in that you please nobody. I mean, I know there are people that like that movie, but the majority response was like, "What is this?" So yeah, um, I don't know though. I don't know, but yeah, I think it would be cool. I would want to see it. I would definitely want to see the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad because I'm actually a defender of some of the things of the 2016 Suicide Squad. Like there are some things in that I actually did like, and there are some things that I thought could have been done better. But I was like, you can tell what direction David Ayer was trying to take that movie, and the studio didn't let him do that. So if we actually see his cut of the movie, and he even like didn't, I think he like went on interviews or something like that, and he even talked about how he has shown like personal like friends, family, like coworkers, like he's shown them his cut of the movie, and like the response that he's heard every time is, "Why didn't they let you make that? That's so much better than what we ended up getting." So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. Regardless, that's what it is. That's what it is. I'm not in charge of DC movies. If I were in charge of that, then we'd be doing different things. I'd be like, come on, man, we're gonna do something like we're gonna make like a Misfit movie. I'd want to do that. I want to do a Misfit movie and have it be like I don't know, like what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, it'd be like a down to earth, like super grounded. It would basically kind of be like Shazam. It'd be kind of like Shazam, where like it's a lived in world with like its own like mythology and like like the whole thing about superheroes like being super popular and all of that. Like I would explore that and I'd do that with the character of Charlotte Gage Radcliffe, who is a super underrated character. Oh my goodness. She's only been in what, like a few comics, like the early like Gail Simone Birds of Prey comics, and then she was in like a couple other ones, and like that was it. So yeah, I'd be doing something like that. I'd also explore like Suicide Squad. Like I don't have it with me, but I have I did a drawing of like like different divisions of the Suicide Squad. This was a while back, but I did like a Metropolis division of the Suicide Squad and like a Gotham City division of the Suicide Squad, and I would explore that. Like I think that would be cool. Like different versions of the Suicide Squad, like limited to a specific area. So yeah, I do something like that. I think that would be cool. Um, but yeah. But regardless, here we are. Here we are. We're right here. I don't know. Yeah. So like I said, we can keep talking. Keep talking. We can talk about whatever. Whatever. It's cool with me. Ah, yeah. Yeah. I that was weird. I actually I went to a Dollar Tree. Uh, this was a while ago. It was like a few months ago. But basically, where not well, it's not like it's further away from where I currently live. But before I moved, there was the strip mall that wasn't too far, and it had like it's like a whole bunch of different stores. You just go outside and you walk to all the stores. And there was one of the stores that was there. I wanted to get in there, but it wasn't open yet. And I was like, okay, well, while I wait, I might as well go with the Dollar Tree that's in there. And I was looking around. It was my first time in Dollar Tree in like 15 bazillion years. It was it was like a super long time since I last went stepped foot into one of those. Just because it was like, what do I have to get here? I don't have to get anything in here. But I was in there. I was just looking around, and I saw this stand of like DC like comic books, and I was like, what are these doing here? I was so completely thrown off by that. I was like, wait, some of these are actually fairly new. Like, what are these doing in a dollar store? I thought that was so weird. But yeah. So interesting, interesting things. Interesting things indeed. Yeah, I would imagine so. I would definitely. Yeah. Um, yep. That's yeah, there's definitely some distribution, the distribution of it, if I can say the word, it's kind of weird, kind of all over the place. But yeah, I definitely yeah, I could definitely picture that of people saying like, look what I found. I I'm part of in addition to being part of some McFarlane collector groups, I'm also part of some NECA collector groups because, well, I like me some NECA figures. Um, and I saw this post of like talking about this like relatively new NECA figure that like just showed up at a Ross, and I was like, "What Ross is that? I want to go there." Because there's a Ross that's not too far from, well, not terribly far from where I am. It's kind of like on the main drag if I take a certain route going to work. Um, that Ross has nothing in terms of action figures or toys or anything like that. Like that one Ross has nothing, and I've been there multiple times. It's like I don't know what Ross y'all are going to, but it's definitely not this one. Or maybe it is, and you're just buying all the stuff before I get to see it. But I did do a shopping trip. This was a little while ago. Um, and we went to a Ross, and it actually had some stuff in there. And I was like, oh, this is what all the people are talking about. It was my introduction to that of like, oh, they actually do have some interesting stuff here. I didn't end up getting anything, but it was interesting nonetheless of seeing like, oh yeah, I see it now. So yeah, I can now understand what you were saying of like, like I went to Ross and I got this and I got this, and yeah, it's definitely interesting with the whole distribution thing because the Ross that's nearer to me, it never has any of that. Yep, yep. See, I would, I could definitely understand that, and I could definitely picture it. It's just I can't really experience that. The last time that I was able to experience something like that was back when Toys R Us was its own thing. Like I know that Toys R Us is technically still around. It's under Macy's, but yeah, but I remember back when Toys R Us was like its own thing, and yeah, I remember just going there and like having this like thrill of the hunt type thing of like what am I gonna find here? Because it was a thing of like I wasn't looking for one thing specific. It's I had a list. I had a list, and it's like I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this, and so it'd be a thing if I'd go to Toys R Us and I'd be like, what can I cross off of my list? So that was so much fun doing that, and then Toys R Us went kaput. But like I said, they are technically still around. It's just not the same. Definitely not the same. Um, but yeah, it is cool though that where I live, there are actually two. It's one brand, but they have two different stores. It's a toy. It's like a store that specializes in like toys and like action figures and collectibles, and they even have like dolls, and they even have like comic books and like things like that. It's like my type of store, and there are two of them, and I've been to both of them. Um, not necessarily as often as I can because I have to give myself limits, otherwise I will buy literally everything. But yeah, it's fun going there, and it's it's really cool. I really like it. Definitely fun to do that. But yeah, oh my goodness, I have been live for over an hour. What happened? I feel like we just got started. I guess that's what happens when I start talking. Um, yeah, it's a thing of like when it comes to things that I like, things that I'm interested in, I can talk like all day long. But like if it's a thing of like you meet me in person, like in real life, and I don't know who you are, I'm not going to talk all that much because I don't know of like what do you like the same kind of things that I like? I don't know, so I'm just not going to say anything. But like if we are on like a similar wavelength, then I could talk like all day long. I can do all the talking. I do all of the talking, and sometimes I can even annoy people. So But I guess with a live stream, if I get to be, like too annoying or anything like that, you can just be like, all right, I'm done. So yeah, there's always an option. But yeah, regardless, it's like I can talk about things. I can absolutely talk about things. It's just things like I could talk about so many things. I want to know like what direction should we take the conversation. Like y'all could even ask me like, what's your opinion on blah, and like I can talk about that provided I know something about it. There are some things like I don't know, like music. Like there's there are definitely there's music that I like. There's absolutely music that I like, but in terms of like like a lot of music and like different styles and like there's was there was this comment on I do YouTube music. I mean, y'all have probably seen my music playlist, but there was this one comment on a song that I like where like the comment was basically like explain to me, and it was like the super long musical terminology thing, and then that comment got a reply of like blah 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 blah, and it was this whole thing of like I have no idea what you're talking about, but I will trust that that's accurate. And yeah, Honey MC, if y'all have seen the couple of videos that she was in, she actually like she knows music. She's actually a really good singer and all of that. I asked her of like what does this mean? And she was able to translate the comment for me, like it's talking about this. So it's like okay, I get that now. But yeah. Another thing is sports. I don't know sports all that well. I mean, I like football, but I like watching football, and I specifically like college football. I'm not particularly fond of the NFL, but I do like college football. So yeah, we could talk college football. I don't know, but yeah, for the most part though, it's not really my thing. I mean, I did like I was like kind of active when I was younger and all that. Um, my first major was making spawn stop motions. Yeah, so yeah, that's actually a very interesting question. So what happened with that? It was fun, but it was definitely challenging. The easy part for me was coming up with a story and like coming up with an idea of let's do this. Um, it was really easy for me because it was like I have this idea because that was how it started. Was I had an idea of let's tell a story with the old Spawn figures, and so it was the thing of I already know what kind of story I want to tell, and then it was like I already know what direction I want to go. But then it became a thing of how do I actually do this, and yeah, with the with episode one, because episode one, that was my first full take on stop motion thing. One of my first videos that I posted was actually my attempt at a stop motion thing. I did like a Lego Batman thing, and it doesn't even have any sound in it because my thought was I'll add the sound later, and I never did. So yeah, if y'all want to see my first official attempt at like stop motion, then y'all can check out the Lego Batman. It's like 20 seconds long or something like that. But yeah, so like I was like, okay, I kind of have the idea of like you pose a figure and then you take a picture and then you like change the pose slightly and then you take another picture. You just keep doing that. Um, and so I basically knew what to do. It was just thinking, how do I do this? And I discovered that like you got to get the lighting right because some of the pictures that I would take would look too dark or they look too bright, and then some of them were like the movement was too drastic. Like it would be a thing of like a character like one shot the character is like this, and then the next shot the character is like that and is like moving in like a really wild direction. And so it's a thing of it has to look natural. And so what I found with that, to anyone interested in stop motion, is take more pictures than you think would be necessary, because then you have options, and then from there you can determine of like which ones do I use and what works best. Because there would be times where I had too few pictures, and I was like, okay, well I got to go back and I got to take more pictures because that way it'll look more natural or whatever. Um, but yeah, so it was fun, but then part of it was I just well, the reason why I stopped, there are kind of two reasons. One was I didn't really know where to go with that. It was like, this is cool and all, but I'm kind of losing an idea of how to do this. But then, another factor that happened was I actually got a new phone, and yes, those videos were made entirely on my phone. But I got a new phone, and the new phone that I have has a completely different program than my old one did, and so like making stop motion the way that I did before, I can't do it anymore. And so it's like, well, this is like super complicated. I have to do it completely differently now. I don't know if I want to do that. And so that was the thing of like, I just kind of took a break, and maybe I'll get back to it. Maybe I won't. I'm not sure. I mean, I do know that I did have an idea, but I don't know if I'm actually going to do it or not. But I had an idea, not with the spawn thing, but with a different thing. And so yeah, I might do it. I might not do it. I don't know. Still trying to figure that out. But yeah, it was a fun process though. Um, Yeah, and that's what I found is that, if you're not really having fun with it, like you're not really enjoying it, just seems like work, then don't do it. Okay? Because I was ultimately doing that because I wanted to have fun, and I also wanted to emulate my biggest inspiration in becoming a YouTuber. The whole reason why I'm a YouTuber is mainly because of one YouTuber that I grew up watching, and one of the things that he did back then was he did stop motion stuff, and I was like, it would be cool if I did something like that. And yeah, it's just too bad because the main videos that I grew up watching, they're not on his channel, or like I can't see them. I don't know if he deleted them or if he has them unlisted or whatever, but if you go to his channel, you won't find them anymore, which is really too bad. But yeah. I will say though that like my out of all of the stop motion videos that I did, like the Darkland Defector series, my favorite has always been the first one. And one of the things that I thought was really cool about it was the scene where Cygor takes this and he throws it to spawn. And so I had to take like each individual picture of like, like that. And then it cuts back to Al here, and like, he had to take pictures of the gun like, falling into his hand. And like that was really cool to me, was being able to do that. And I remember watching the end result and I was like, yes, that's what I was trying to do. I didn't know if I would be able to do it. Yeah, it was tough because sometimes I had to take a picture like holding it like this, and then sometimes I had to take a picture of holding it like this, because I didn't want my hand to be visible, because it's meant to be a thing of, this is moving on its own, because, the characters are moving on their own and all that. So it was tough, but I'd say that, like, the good, not, well, I don't know, but like I thought it was good. I thought it was cool. So I was happy with the final product, and yeah, that's kind of good. It's definitely a good thing. So yeah, I'd say that was probably my favorite thing that I did with the stop motion series, was just recreating that of like Cygor taking this and just throwing it. It's a simple thing, and like you can find it in the first video, but yeah, it's interesting nonetheless. If I can get this back into his hand, had to get this guy off the shelf to illustrate that, and now I want to see if I can get him to hold this again. Ah, that's close enough. That looks close enough, doesn't it? He's holding it. He is technically holding it. Oh, yeah, and another point. I forgot there was another point that I was going to make. And that's that, especially with the older figures, some of them had really weird articulation that you had to keep in mind. Like, if you're specifically making a video with action figures, then you have to be aware of what they can and can't do. And one of the examples of that was with, if I can get her out, going to, I have a lot of figures, so I have to move some out of the way to get them out. But with Jessica Priest here, like if y'all seen my review of this figure, you know that the articulation isn't really the best. And the main thing is with the legs. I don't like the V-cut legs, I have to be honest. Like, it looks good, but it makes for really weird articulation where like this is the only point of the leg that moves, and it doesn't even go like forward and back. It goes like out to the side at an angle, and like that doesn't really look that natural if you're trying to take a step forward. It looks like you're stepping out to the side, like you're trying to move away from a turd or something like that that's in the road. But yeah, so like I had to take things like that in mind, and so with that, where it was the thing of like I can't effectively do what I want to do, I would try to hide it, and so I'd like have the perspective be higher up, so that what I could do is instead of showing the legs moving like this, it would be a thing of like I would just hold the figure and then just I would just kind of go like that to simulate of like it's moving. So that's what I would say too, is like be aware of what you can and can't do, but also kind of get creative with it. Like there were ideas of like I want to do this, and I found out if I can't do that, but I was able to find a way around that. Like I said, with the V cut legs that I don't like, it's just you can't do it. It's not like the other ones where it's a very simple, straightforward thing. But yeah. Another thing that was an interesting learning experience with that series was recording the audio for it, because it was a thing of like I that was the last thing that I did, was basically what my process was. I would come up with a story, and then I would take all the pictures, and then I would compile all the pictures, and then I would write the script, and then I would record the lines, and then that would be the final product. And with the recording part, like I said, the video, all of those were made completely on my phone, so it's not like I had like a professional professional microphone, and I'd like speak into the microphone, whatever. I didn't have one of those, and so it was a thing of I would just use the built-in microphone that's on my phone, and so I would just do that, and I would be like, I'd be like really close and like speaking into it, and yeah, and sometimes it sounded good, sometimes it sounded really bad, and especially with the first two episodes in that series, they were the audio for that was recorded in one shot, because I was like, well, let's just do this. It's not that long. Yeah, with episode 2 being 2 minutes long, that was a thing of you had to get 2 minutes worth of audio in one take, and if you messed it up once, you had to start all over again. And so starting with episode 3, I was like, let's break it up into parts. And so they had parts, and with episode 3, I think that's the one. Yeah, it is. That's the one where you have the perspective of Widowmaker and Redeemer, and then you go down to the Darklands with Violator and Scourge, and all of that. And then you go to Earth with Curse and Crutch. So so it's the thing of like there are 3 different perspectives. Let's record those. Let's record the audio for those perspectives one at a time. And that's what I did. And I found that was way easier and a lot less stressful too, because there wasn't so much pressure on you have to get it all right in one take, or else we have to do the entire thing over again. So yeah. So yeah, I guess like it is possible. I mean, I feel like my videos are kind of proof anyway. It is possible to do that completely on your phone. It just, if you want like optimal, like top tier quality of like best of the best, like possible stuff, you gotta have more than that. And I'm not really the one to give like professional advice on that. I just kind of made it up as I went along, and that's why some of the videos, like if you watch those, and because I've rewatched some of those, and like the audio is really bad on some of them. It's like, holy crap, I have to listen to this at like a low volume, otherwise like I don't know. But yeah, so like if y'all want to know like the absolute best of the best, I am not the one to tell you about that. It's not really my position to do that, because I don't know any of that. But yeah, I hope that yeah, yes, it is. It is definitely a lot of work. And like I said, though, I found it rewarding until it got to the point where it's like, I don't know what direction to take this. And then when I got my new phone, and that's like the one aspect that's inferior to my old phone. The phone that I used to have is the video potential. That's what I call it. because with my old phone, making stop motion videos was really easy because I had one app that basically did all of it. It's the gallery app. So basically the app where your photos and videos and all of that, where they're just stored in default, like default, you take a picture and there it is. It used to be a thing if you could just go there and you could just make a stop motion thing and you didn't even have to think that much. Well, not necessarily, it is really easy to do that. It was really easy to do that. But my new gallery app doesn't have that. And another thing of like my old phone had a screen recorder like built into it. Like that was one of the features that my old phone just had. And so if I wanted to make a video of like me playing a game on my phone, like my PVZ Heroes card opening videos, and then like when I play stuff like Ultimate Custom Night, like my Ultimate Custom Night videos, those are really easy for me to make because I would just have the option of let's just do a screen record. It's going to capture my audio while I'm talking. I'm just going to do that, and then that's it. And I'll just edit the video, and then when I think it's good, I'll just post it. But my new phone, it doesn't have that option. And I did look into screen recorder apps, and none of them are that good. So it's like, why is that like the one thing that my phone doesn't do as well? Because basically everything else that my new phone does, it's better than my old phone. So I don't know why everything else is better except for that. But regardless, that's what I got. That's what I got right now. But whatever. Whatever it might be, that's what I got. That's what I'm working with. But yeah. Interesting things though. I'm not gonna stop for Yeah, yeah. I definitely I understand that. But yeah, I am going to be honest here. If you want advice on Photoshop and that kind of thing, I am not the one to do that. I know next to nothing about that world. My dad is a super tech savvy guy. I am not. So yeah, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, so it was this thing of like, for me, like having like a super like for me, like in terms of Photoshop, the extent of Photoshop is I will edit a picture to have like a different like color scheme, and I'll make that my YouTube video thumbnail, which I rarely do. And that's by design. It's inspired by again my inspiration. It's inspired by my inspiration. There you go. But yeah, so like if I want to do a thumbnail, I'll do something interesting with that. I think of the video that I did of me talking about the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. I did do something with the like I took a picture of Spider-Man. I took a picture of the DVDs on either side, and then I just went wild with the options of like the contrast and the brightness and the exposure, and I just kind of played with it until it's like that looks interesting. Let's go with that. So yeah, yeah. I don't know a lot of the specific terminology of like here's this, and then here's what it does, here's what it means, and all of that. To me, I just look at it as what does it look like. I'm a visual person, so it's a thing of like it's like if I think it looks good, that's what I'm going with. If I don't think it looks good, I'm not going to go with that. So yeah, I do think it's cool though, like the people that do all the Photoshop stuff. It's just that's not something like for one thing, it's not something I really understand because I have had conversations with people with things like that, and like half of the words that they say, they just go over my head. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But yeah, the other thing is that for me, I don't know. For me, it's just a thing of like, I kind of like keeping things simple, but I do definitely appreciate it. It's just a thing of could I do it? I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, Yeah, that's and that you know what? That's all right because I'm going to be honest. I do like the way that your thumbnails look. They do look good. Um, like I feel like it doesn't have to be like a super flashy, over the top, all of that. Like it doesn't have to be like that because all you're really doing is you're talking about a piece of plastic. Okay, like I feel like you don't have to do something super over the top. So like just do something that highlights the strengths, or like downplays the weaknesses of said figure, then you're good. That's kind of all it takes. So I think they look really good. Um, it's just a thing of like I don't really do it all that much. I think one of the first times that I ever did like a special thumbnail was for the review of let me get them out. Ah, knocking stuff over. Let me get them out. I gotta move some stuff first. But it was with my review of this guy, Mr. Crutch. And the reason why I did something was different with him was just because of his bio on the back of the box, talking about this guy being the bane of Spawn's existence. I just think that's so funny. Like, this is not a character from the comics. This is a character that was made up for the toy line. But like the idea of like this guy, out of all of the characters that Spawn's face, this is the guy that's given this is the guy that's given him the most trouble. Like I just think that's so funny, and so I just wanted to make that the thumbnail of like the bio where it's saying that like this guy is the bane of Spawn's existence. I don't know. For me, I just think that's so funny. Like he can face demons and monsters and cyborgs and all of that, but this one guy is like the one that like puts all of them to shame. I just think that's so funny. uh, but yeah, okay. He's not gonna fall over. That's good. I want to be careful with my collection. I don't want the stuff to fall over because that would be. What do you think of my version of look like? I mean, it would be interesting. Like I feel like there's a lot of stuff that they could do with this. Because he does have a lot of details, like with the tattoos and like all the different textures. So like like this being metal and then like this being maybe like leather or something like that. Like I'm not saying they have to go like the Mezco route and just like make this guy filled with actual clothing, but like I feel like if they they could do some interesting stuff with that, especially with like all the details and then like with the accessories. I don't know to what extent they would do the accessories because it seems kind of a thing of like like with this she spawn figure that they made, they gave her like 9 total accessories, but that constituted her being like $25 more than a normal figure. Like, so I don't know what they would do with that, but yeah, with Crutch, I don't know, like, because I don't know if they would give him like they certainly wouldn't give him the play feature. I don't think of like the leg shooting out. Let's actually demonstrate this. It's been a while since I've done this. Is it still going to work? Is it still going to work? Is it still going to work? I don't remember exactly how to. There we go. Yeah, it still shoots out. It's just been a while. But yeah, I think that that play feature probably wouldn't be a thing if they were to make this figure today. Just because like I know that some toy lines do that. It's just that McFarlane, that's not really a McFarlane thing anymore. So I feel like that would just be like a detail. It wouldn't be like a play feature. It would just be a thing of yeah, that's just a peg leg that he has. But like, would he have both the both the weed whacker and the jackhammer? I don't know. Would he have the rat? I don't know. Would he have the removable helmet? That's in a box up there. I don't know. But yeah, it would be interesting though, especially if they did the thing because this isn't the regular version of this figure. This is the second edition. This is the variant. The regular release, like the default one, I'm trying to remember all the details. So like I know things like he wore green instead of blue, and then he had I think maybe like orange colored pants instead of black. Like I think like some of the details like with his face were different, and then he didn't have the smiley face tattoo. I remember that. So I got the variant just because I thought it looked more interesting. I like the color scheme better, and I also thought that the smiley face tattoo was kind of funny. But yeah, so I don't know what they would do. I mean, could they do it? Yeah. Would he probably have better articulation? Yeah, because I feel like this guy's pretty pre-posed. That like he can't really move around all that much. And I do like the detail of him like being hunched over and all of that, but like he can't really move around a whole lot. So I feel like what they would do if they were to make this figure today is they would have like better articulation and then maybe like some of the similar details, but would he have all the accessories? I don't think he would. Honestly, it's the 90s were a different time back then. Definitely definitely say that. So yeah. Interesting things though, looking at the evolution of the toy line with McFarlane, because I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I feel like when it yeah, yep, yeah, exactly. Uh, which that itself is a reference to Clown 2 from Series 4, 1996. Um, but yeah, this was something else. And yeah, but like that was the thing of like, like they had the clown figure, which is basically this just modernized. And they gave him a couple of accessories. Like I think they gave him like interchangeable hands, and they gave him like like a few different weapons that he could hold in his hands. But the main thing was that giant backpack that could be detached. But like they constituted that as like a mega fig release, which I get that it's this massive thing that has to fit in a box, so they had to give him a big box. But I guess they in their mind that constitute as like if they made this today, this would be like $40 or $50. Like I don't know about that, because when this guy came out in 1996, he cost the same amount as all the other figures. This is the thing of this is what this figure had, because they were unique. They had interesting stuff going on with them. But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, what I was saying is that I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I do know me some classic McFarlane, and I do have memorized. I have memorized all of the figures that were part of Series 1 through Series 10. And then I also know all the figures that were in Series 12. So, yeah. If y'all want to do like quiz me or something of, all the figures from this line, I'd probably be able to tell you, provided it's from Series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 12. So, yeah. In terms of like the universe stuff, because it was mainly Series 11 when they did like the Dark Ages thing. Well, not Dark Ages, but like the medieval line. Um, and that was like that, and that was the line that had Black Knight in it, which that's a figure that like if y'all aren't familiar, basically Series 11 they had a figure called the Black Knight, and it was like this big chunky like knight spawn type character, and he is notorious for like breaking at the torso. But like you have like there's a really good way that I can show it off. I guess with this guy, the uh, the chunkiest figure that I have in my collection. So just kind of using this guy as an example, it would be something like like this part of the body and then this part of the body. It like constantly breaks like in the middle there. So that's not ideal. um, so yeah, and then they kind of focus more on the sculpt over the other stuff, and then Series 12 was kind of a return to form in a sense, but then they also tried to focus more on the sculpt, and then 13 and onward it became more of a thing of these are not toys, these are more like collectibles and statues. It just gradually became more like that, and then when the Universe line happened, starting in 2020 with the Kickstarter Spawn figure, and then 2021 with some of the first figures, like where is he? Where is he? Here he is. Starting with some of their first Spawn Universe figures, like Soul Crusher. Then it became more of a thing of yeah, this is the modern McFarlane type stuff. So what you would kind of expect. Um, but yeah, but it's just not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's so different. Oh, they are cool. They are cool. You just have to be careful with them, because I mean, I don't know if y'all remember but Scourge, that giant skeleton guy from Series 7, and when I took him out of the box, his arm broke off. So, yeah. So they're cool. You just have to be careful with them. Uh, so, and then you have, like I said, you have Black Knight from Series 11, who, like, I think there has only been, like, one review. Oh, cool. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. I remember, we did, it wasn't really a vacation. Like, I wouldn't really consider it a vacation, but, my family did this thing where we went to a city, and this was, I think, like last year or something like that. We went to we just kind of went around the city looking at stuff, and we went to a comic book store. And this comic book store, it had like, it obviously had comic books. It had a lot of comic books. It was just weird to see them all arranged alphabetically. Like it wasn't ranked by like, the Marvel stuff is over here, the DC stuff is over here. It was a thing of all of it was alphabetical. And so you would have like Spider-Man and Superman in like the same section. um but yeah, like they had this one section, like in one area they had like just Marvel Select stuff, and then like on this one wall they had this shelf of just old McFarlane Spawn figures. And it was like a whole thing full of them. And I was like, oh my goodness, I could look at this shelf all day. And I was able to pick out each and every one of those. I'm like, I know what that one is. I know what that one is. I know what that one is. I did actually get one of them. I did get one of them. I did post a review of that. It was the Manga Clown. That really weird crab clown thing with the spider face, like the spider like thing that moves over and he has like a missile launcher. I got that from that comic book store. But yeah, they definitely had their interesting stuff. That's the one thing, though, that both of those stores that I was talking about earlier, those stores that specialize in like toys and collectibles and all that, the classic McFarlane and Spawn stuff, that's something that they just don't have. That's like the one thing that they're lacking. They have basically everything else like that you could possibly think of, but they don't have that. So I don't know what's up with that, but they just don't have it. I mean, they did one of the stores that I went to. They did have one of them. I can get him out here. He's not a Spawn figure, but he is a classic McFarlane figure nonetheless. One of those two stores had this guy Frankenstein. So yeah, I got that from one of the stores, but like that was it. That was really all that they had. But yeah, interesting stuff. Just seeing all of that. Yeah, it is cool to me. Just whether I buy them or not, it's still cool to see those figures like still in the box and all of that. It's like a blast from the past, from the 1990s, even though I actually wasn't around in the 1990s. I was not born until the 21st century. So yeah, so I could just imagine though the people that were around there at the time, and especially like like people that were kids at the time or anything like that. I'm sure that's an even bigger blast from the past for them. Like I remember these. I do not, but I can understand where they're coming from. uh, but yeah. What is interesting though is when I'll go to like antique stores and they have stuff like that. Interesting when I go to, yeah, yeah, I remember. Well, I don't remember Bionicle, but I do remember things like that. Like I remember Hero Factory. I know that Hero Factory was like kind of similar to Bionicle, but also kind of its own thing. I remember Hero Factory being around, and I remember people saying like, "This is cool, but it's not like Bionicle." And yeah, so I get that, totally get that. Sometimes I'll just make noises I don't even know. Ah, he lost his gun. Oh no. When I was moving stuff over, I had my Sam Burke figure. He lost his gun. Let's give that back to him. Let's give that back to him. It's got to have, whatever this thing is supposed to be. I don't know what I get that it's like a revolver type thing, but like it's kind of a crazy thing. But then again, this is Spawn we're talking about, the series that has a gun that looks like this. So See, that's another thing that's different with Spawn in particular, like like the McFarlane figures, but also like the Spawn line in particular of like the art style. The art style is very different because what it looks like now, like don't get me wrong, the art in Spawn comics now looks good. It's just it's too realistic. Like it looks too like it's trying too hard to be like let's look realistic and all of that. The original Spawn comics were very stylized, and Todd McFarlane had very distinct style with him in mind. Like when he would do stuff, and case in point, you look at the original, drawings of Sam and Twitch, and they have a very distinct look to them and all of that. But then now they look more like normal people, and it's kind of a thing, and I'm sure some people like that. But for me, I actually like the more stylized look to them. But yeah. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Yep. I'm sure I will do another live stream at some point. And I do wish you the best with a happy new year. I will see you around. Comment on each other's videos, see each other later, whatever. We'll definitely do another live stream though. So yeah. I think kind of on that note, I think I'm kind of done too. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed. I will see you all later. Goodbye. Bye. We'll do another one later at some point. Now, how do I? Whoop. That's not it. That's not it. How do I? Do I? No, that's not it. That's not it. How do I? That? Yes.